welcome everyone. So as you know, 2021 was the year of NFTs. I personally believe that 2022 is going to be the year of the DAOs. So let's start talking about DAOs. And for that, let's start with an introduction about yourself and tell us which was your first DAO. Let's start with you, Lana.
My name is Lana Pierce. I'm the CBDO of Pollen DeFi, and my first DAO that I actually participated in was Olympus DAO.
Olympus. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Hey everybody, my name is Kaito and I'm the CEO of Utopia Labs. I think the very first DAO that I was a part of was M Club within Seed Club's DAO, so that was super awesome as well.
Hello. Hello. Oh, this is Diana. I'm the CMO of UTU.ONE. We create a Web3 DAO tool with no threshold that everyone can join even without crypto knowledge. And the first DAO I've joined is, the first DAO I create is a education DAO to educate like people without crypto knowledge but would like to share and learn.
Hey guys, my name is Joon. I'm from Mina protocol. So we're not a DAO, but I think every layer one should be thinking about what DAO means, and I'm here representing them. My first DAO is Constitution DAO.
Which one?
Constitution DAO.
Okay, pretty early. Okay. For me, the first DAO was the Meta Cartel DAO, probably around 3 years ago, more or less, after the conference in Berlin. And now let's talk about what are DAOs? What are DAOs to you?
DAOs to me are essentially where the members of a particular organization, token holders, or if it's going to be NFTs, will participate in managing the organization, not only financial decisions, but any decisions going into how the DAO is going to grow and change over time and innovate.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think for me, one sentence that describes DAOs pretty well is that they're just group chats with a bank account, a shared cap table. And I think that's a really powerful thing when you think about it, because you're basically able to create a composable organization from scratch, have the shared rules, and have a shared bank account. And by doing that, you have a fostering culture of transparency. So from there, I think authentic grassroots communities are optimized to grow. And I think that's one of my favorite sentences when describing DAOs.
Well, in my opinion, what I think DAO is a kind of mindset that lets people to make decisions. It's decentralized, autonomous. So obviously, it's not only built for like the crypto world. We used to have it like in the long Asian days ago, like long ago, like people start to make decisions in a voting way, in a decentralized way. It's a mindset that led people to make decisions.
How about you, Joon?
In my mind, I think DAO is the future of blockchain, and that's a very big statement. But in the past 4 years, we've seen that the world and the regulators and the financial institution system aren't really opening up to the way some of these blockchain systems work. And I think DAOs represent this governance and decentralization that truly sort of embody how Bitcoin started and the original blockchain ideas started. So the question for us is how do we make it work? And I think those are exciting things to solve for.
Okay, so for me, DAOs are multi-sig, 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 or magic internet organizations, or just a group of people coming together and sharing some sort of value. And that value doesn't necessarily need to be monetary. It could be any sort of value. And to me, DAOs is just a way of governing, as you said, a set of, let's say, assets or any sort of, let's say, thing that has any value. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about what are the different, let's say, tool stacks that DAOs are using currently. What do you think, Lana?
One of the ways that I've seen some DAOs operate is using Discord. It's a really easy way to communicate, and I mean, there's a lot of great conversations that are going on. Another one that I've seen was on their website, and they had opportunities for different professionals to participate in the DAO, whether or not it was through development, things like that.
Yeah, I think for DAO tooling specifically, I might be a bit biased here, but I think with DAO tooling, it's pretty easy to categorize it in two ways. There's front office and there's back office. I think when you think of it from a front-facing angle, it's really community-facing. Tools like Snapshot, tools like Discord, like you mentioned. And then on the back office side, I think there's a ton of really cool tools that are being built here, particularly with things like vesting, Coordinate, for payment coordination. I'm a bit biased with Utopia in regards to the fact that we run payroll, but there's a ton of really cool stacks that are being built for these new organizations, and I think there's a really easy and clear way to categorize it from that angle.
For those people that don't know what a snapshot is or what Coordinate is, can you tell a little bit about it?
Yeah, for sure. So Snapshot is usually the front-facing kind of angle for where you could participate in governance. So most DAOs, I'd say, and the majority of DAOs run on Snapshot, and it's just basically a forum where you basically approve or reject proposals. Coordinate is a really, really interesting experiment towards decentralizing payment coordination. Specifically, I don't want to speak too long, but there's 3 challenges with DAOs: coordination, compliance, and compensation. Coordinate does a really good job where they give power to the people who are actually contributing to the work and basically decentralizing the coordination of saying who did what and then rewarding them for that use case there.
How about you, Diana?
Yes, for DAO tools, that's pretty a lot to say because I'm building a DAO tool. So what I want to say is it's about your Constitution DAO. Actually, the first DAO he joined. Do you know why it failed?
Well, it depends how you see what you call failure.
Like failed in beating this. I'm not saying the DAO is failed.
Okay, I guess from my perspective, like it failed in winning the Constitution because actually was showing how much money they had in their
yes,
account.
Transparent, yeah.
So, to me, it's that it's actually completely transparent. But
Yes.
what if we have done, if we will have done that using zero knowledge proof or any of these solutions?
Like every cycle, yes. But there is one more thing we need to realize that there must be many more people outside crypto world. They would like to bid for this constitution. However, they don't know how to use the tools. They are not on Discord. They don't know how to use Juicebox. So, well, that must be things. So I think DAOs users nowadays require advanced blockchain knowledge and keypad management and use crypto wallet and sign and pledge wallets. And they need to use VPN in some areas as well. And they need to use Discord, as she said. And they need to be on Twitter. And they need to operate this extremely complex web pages. And then they need to pay the high gas fee. After this long process, we lose the people. So they do have the redeem function, but it doesn't work because, well, it works. However, the gas fee is too high. The gas fee is too high that.
But that depends. That depends on the chain that is hosted the DAO itself, right?
Yes. Well, sometimes, especially on Ethereum. I mean, most of the DAOs. I mean, there are many DAOs there on Ethereum, and the Ethereum gas fee is so high that sometimes even higher than the money that you are invested. So will you redeem? It is a situation, and in my opinion, well, some of this is more like a pilot project that is in this development of science and technology. So what I think is that what I am seeing a Web3 DAO tool is that the tool is designed for everyone, not only for crypto community and whales, for everyone. Even so, I am hoping to see one day a college student be able to invest even $1 if he believes the cause. And that is the DAO tools I think we should have in the future, which is what I'm designing, an DAO tool with no threshold. Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned something about the Constitution DAO failing. And I want to talk a little bit about that. In my opinion, it didn't completely fail. It failed, on purchasing the Constitution itself, but it showed to the world that we can come together and raise a lot of funds in a really short amount of time for a cause that we care about. So to me, it's a show to the world that, that we can come together and actually start funding things that we like, and so on. So yeah, it got us also out there on the mainstream, and people start talking about it. So
Yes.
to me, in a way, let's say it was a success. And also, the crazy thing is that even that the DAO failed, there was a meme coin that came out of it from the DAO. And it's actually right now even like 10x from what people put into the DAO. So to me, that shows that people can come together and coordinate. And basically, if they believe in something, that has value. You don't need everyone to agree with you. You just need that group of people that believe in your idea, and that's it. So yeah, to me, it's actually really, really powerful what has happened with the Constitution DAO. Also, I want to ask you, Lana, what is the DAO infrastructure that Pollen is using? And yeah, basically, as you know, there are many different types of DAOs. There's OS DAOs or operating system DAOs. There's social DAOs. There's impact DAOs like Gitcoin or Climate DAO or so on. And there's also DeFi DAOs or DeFi protocols and so on. So in your perspective, you guys are building a DeFi DAO, a way for managing funds collectively. So what is the DAO infrastructure that you're using? So we know that we have Aragon, Moloch, and Colony, and so on. So what are you guys using for your DAO?
So we actually have two structures to our DAO. The part that is, it's still in development, but we have the asset management. That is one portion of the DAO. So the asset management is decentralized, and then the secondary token that we're going to have is going to be related to the assets that are held within the asset pools, but that will also be the organizational DAO token. So both tokens will be used for governance in two different ways.
But my question was more related about the DAO infrastructure that you guys are using. If I'm not wrong, I think that you guys are building your own DAO infrastructure. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's the part that's still in development.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you, Lana. How about you, Kaito?
Yeah, so I don't run a DeFi DAO. That's actually super cool. But for us, I think, speaking to a ton of DAOs, there's really cool kind of infrastructure plays across different segments, right? So with smaller DAOs, they might use something like Coordinape, and then they'll scale that. And I know, projects like Bankless have scaled Coordinape from 0 to 500 contributors pretty well. But in terms of the stack, it's pretty common too. Just like you mentioned, Aragon, Moloch. I know in terms of the voting frameworks, there's Compound and Governor Bravo there. So I think there's a lot of really cool tools, but I haven't seen a best practices established.
Which one are you
across.
using?
Oh, we don't use any because right now we're building with DAOs and we're building composable tools for DAOs. So we don't actually use any of those stacks right now.
But how do you guys manage like funds and stuff? Are you guys leveraging Gnosis Safe or how are you guys doing it?
Totally. Right now, I think right now it's Gnosis. What we've seen as well is probably most DAOs run on Gnosis in terms of their multi-sig treasury.
Like what type of tools are you using for managing funds?
So we got a custodians group. So in each DAO, you can vote yourself to be the custodian if you got the tokens, and there are ways to earn the token. There are tasks for you to do, and the tasks are set by the proposals. And if you are not if you are a custodian, you can make proposals, and the custodians, they can decide like how to run the money. Yes.
Is this tool being built by you guys, or are you guys leveraging any other tool out there? Are you guys leveraging Aragon or Polygon, not Polygon, I'm sorry, Aragon or Colony or Gnosis or any of these DAO tools?
We are actually, so we have a built-in swap, and we have a built-in wallet, and we have a Twitter function and a Discord function to people make decisions and connect. And we are all in one place that we didn't use any other tools. So we provide these functions in an all-in-one place that you don't get your hands dirty when you're trying to like contact people and make decisions.
So I guess that you guys are building your own infrastructure then.
Yes, we are building the infrastructure.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
What about you? What about you, Joon?
Yeah, again, we're layer one. That's tinkering with the idea of becoming a DAO. And frankly, I haven't seen anything that I like so far. So we're probably going to build our own if we go that route. And the main reason is really what you mentioned, which is does any of the existing infrastructure truly sort of reflect decentralization? And for me, I haven't really come across a set of tools that enables that. So we're tinkering and customizing different aspects while utilizing different.
What about the Mina Foundation? What is the Mina Foundation using? Is it using a multi-sig for managing the funds, or how are you guys managing the funds?
Our treasury?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're manually managing it right now. So we have experts and tools that we use for that. But definitely when we become a DAO, we'll have to automate it and we'll have to think of a way. So one of the things that I'm thinking about is there's a DAO and there's a token, right? There's going to have to be sub-DAOs underneath the DAO. So think of a corporate structure without legal entity, but sub-DAOs and DAOs would have relationship in terms of token conversion or different tokens or sub-tokens, and each sort of having a different governance right. And then there would be a spin-out service companies, because you need lawyers, you need accountants, you need people that are helping the DAOs. So we're sort of thinking of this like elaborate system that's not currently picked up by any of the existing infrastructure.
Yeah, actually, you made a very fair point. I'm seeing that more and more. That DAOs, they have like this main structure, and then around them you have all of these mini DAOs or minion DAOs or fractal DAOs or however you want to call them. And basically, these groups are coming together and basically providing services to the main DAO. This is happening with API 3 DAO. This is happening with, let's say, some of the DAOs in the Moloch ecosystem as well. So yeah, this is, I think we're gonna see more and more like this weight of let's say managing protocols or managing DAOs. It's just like having all of these small groups that have a lot of experience in one thing, and maybe that small group can serve this DAO, but the other DAO as well, and so on. So yeah, there's guilds and groups of people coming together that are serving and building stuff for multiple DAOs at the same time. So yeah, we're seeing an explosion of that as well.
And just to add one more on that, like I think it should be every foundation's job to support guilds and service companies like that, right? Whether grants or any kind of like investments in, really encourage those guilds to proliferate.
Totally. Do you think that buying governance tokens, do you think that model is right?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Yeah, do you think that basically having governance with tokens that you can buy directly from the market, do you think that's right, or do you think that's problematic?
So this is the reason why we haven't really thought about fully converting yet, because it's really tricky, right? It's super tricky. Does it go back to like a rich guy buying up everything and completely destroying the purpose of a DAO? Can you implement like a quadratic voting, for instance? What are some of the things that you could implement to reduce this pluralism? And it's honestly, it's something that we haven't figured out yet.
You mentioned something that I think is really important that most of the people haven't really seen yet, which is that identity is a key for this puzzle, right? So if we want to have governance that is actually spread out, we need to have ways of having identity on chain. And also another thing is that what I'm seeing right now is that most of the DAOs are actually not really democracies in a way. They're just plutocracies where the people that have the most funds are actually the ones making the decisions and not necessarily the ones that have the expertise, knowledge, or let's say, or skin in the game for the long term. Let's say, yeah, at least this is my personal opinion. We'd love to hear what's your opinion, Diana.
Well, in my opinion, I think I just really want to mention that two factors, I think, that influence a DAO to run for a long time well. One is the right people. So the right people, you need to bring them together so that because DAO needs many contributions, and they need to like share their good mindset and willing to learn and read and do research and yeah, to contribute. And another is like a good tokenomic that will help the DAO to run well for a long time.
Kaito, you have any opinion regarding governance and buying tokens?
Yeah, I think with governance, it's at a really experimented time right now where it's super early. And I think there's really important experiments like quadratic voting that I think is going to be extremely important as we go on. And you touched upon zero knowledge proofs, and I think that's also going to be really interesting when it kind of intersects with identity when you do vote. I don't have any specific thoughts, but I do think that, you know, as over time, as we start understanding things like how to do airdrops properly, how to do governance and token voting right, I think best practices will be established. But what's also super exciting is those best practices haven't necessarily been established yet. So that's probably one of the most important and coolest things about being in this space, just in general.
All right, thank you so much, Kaito. And last, Lana, and we're over.
I think that we are kind of in a very big developmental space right now. It's really important to make sure that these DAOs are decentralized. And if you have whales coming in and purchasing the tokens, then it's just another corporation, right? It's still a group of people that are swaying all the decisions that are being made. So it's important for us to figure out how can we give everybody a voice within the DAO, but also continue bringing in the capital that we're going to need to give that DAO influence. So I think that we're at a very important junction with the development of DAOs, but I think that with so much innovation in this space, that we're going to see a lot of exciting developments over the coming years.
All right, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us here today, and thank you, guys.